This is Nate Webb again, and we're going to be looking at another message in expansion of that which we discussed previously. Our message this evening shall be entitled "The Fallacy of Secular Theology." Once again, that's going to be the fallacy of secular theology. So, we're going to be commencing this message with a quote from one of the most revered theologians along this line, by the name of Gleason Archer, in a book he composed entitled The Encyclopedia of Bible Difficulties. This here is a copy of this book, The Encyclopedia of Bible Difficulties. Going to be first going to page 111, and we're still sticking with our same message from the previous one, that being applicable to the 430-year sojourn, or the postulation thereof, of the children of Israel in the land of Egypt. Mr. Archer, in his book, The Encyclopedia of Bible Difficulties, on page 111, poses this question. Question that he poses states, how could the Israelites have sojourned 430 years in Egypt if there were only 3 generations between Levi and Moses? And then within parentheses we have, according to him, Exodus 6:16 through 20. Mr. Archer's book then reads as follows. In common with almost all the genealogies of this type recorded in the Pentateuch, cf. Numbers 26, 28 through 34, the general practice is followed in Exodus 6, of listing a person's family tree by tribe, clan, and family group. As D.N. Friedman points out, parentheses in G.E. Wright, ed., The Bible and the Ancient Near East, London, Routledge and Kagan, Paul, 1961, from pages 206 and 207. This type of classification was common in ancient Near East practice. In Egyptian royal genealogies, we find that several links are omitted between Ramses II and the 19th dynasty, and the kings of the 21st dynasty, and the Berlin genealogy published by Burckhardt, parentheses, and Kitchen, Ancient Orient, pages 54 and 55. Goes on to read, it is quite obvious that if by Moses' time, according to Numbers 3, 27 and 28, the combined total of Amramites, Izharites, Hebronites, and Uzzielites came to 8,600, all of whom were descended from Kohath, the Amram, who had perhaps 1/4 of 8,600 children, 2,150, could not have been the immediate parents of Moses and Aaron. They could hardly have had over 2,000 brothers in that one family. While Moses' father may in fact have been named Amram, he could not have been the same Amram as produced that many descendants. Fortunately, in 1 Chronicles, we have many genealogies that are more complete. And these indicate that there were 9 or 10 generations between the sons of Jacob generation of Moses. For example, 1 Chronicles 7:25 tells us there were 10 links between Ephraim and Joshua. Beriah, Repha, Resheph, Telah, Tahan, Ladan, Amihud, Elishama, Nun, Joshua, Bezalel, who designed the tabernacle, as in parentheses Exodus 3:31, to 3:11, was in the 11th generation from Jacob, cf. 1 Chronicles 2:1, 4-5, 9, 18-20. 3. It then states Elishama, mentioned in Numbers 1 and 10, was in the 9th generation from Jacob, 1 Chronicles 7:22-27. 9 or 10 generations between Jacob and Moses harmonizes very well with the 430-year sojourn for the Israelites in Egypt, i.e. between 1875 and 1445 BC. This would average out to 43 years per generation. The 215-year theory espoused by those who follow the Septuagint reading for Exodus 12:40 would yield only 215 years for the sojourn, for an average of 21 years per generation. In the case of Bezalel and Joshua, this is well nigh incredible. So also is the increase of the original 70 or 75 in Jacob's immigrant group to over 2 million souls by Moses' time. Once again, our message is fallacy, secular theology. What you'll find very common within the parameters of secular theology is oftentimes they'll use many quotes because their focus becomes on extra biblical material. However, when one has their focus upon becoming an expert in extra biblical material, what you'll find consistently is there's some lack in being a well-versed Bible student. And it is this Bible that we hold as the final authority on issues concerning the Bible, not extra biblical material. So what we'll find is that there's some great area of opportunity in Mr. Archer's postulation. Now, we thought it significant that there seems to always be something consistent with the ideology of secular theology and this espousal Mr. Archer's making, that Amram could not have been the Amram who was the son of Kohath. Impossible, in his words. Could not have been him. Moses didn't know who his father was. Think it imperative, then have a look at Exodus chapter 6. We'll look at Numbers as well in chapter 26 to get Moses' position on who his parents were. Once again, that's Exodus chapter 6. We'll be looking at verses 16 through 20. You'll bear with us while we turn there. That's Exodus chapter 6 we're looking for. And verses 16 through 20 read as follows. And these are the names of the sons of Levi according to their generations: Gershon, and Kohath, and Merari. And the years of the life of Levi were 137 years. The sons of Gershon, Libni, and Shimei, according to their families. And the sons of Kohath, Amram, and Izhar, and Hebron, and Uzziel. And the years of the life of Kohath were 133 years. And the sons of Merari, Mahali, and Mushai. These are the families of Levi according to their generations. And Amram took him Jochebed, his father's sister, to wife. And she bare him Aaron and Moses, and the years of the life of Amram were 137 years. Once again, that's Exodus chapter 6, verses 16 through 20. Before we expound upon that text, we'll move forward to a very similar text from looking at Numbers chapter 26. We're going to look at verse 59. That's Numbers chapter 26 and verse 59. It reads as follows. We'll read 58 and 59. These are the families of the Levites, the family of the Libnites, the family of the Hebronites, the family of the Malites, the family of the Mushites, the family of the Korathites,